This is my full scouting report on Marvin Harrison Jr. I've already made a video on him this year, no matter what. Since then, I finished scouting reports for both Rome Odunze and Marvin Harrison Jr. Since today is the Super Bowl, I thought it was a good time to release this video and tease that I'm finishing up my Caleb Williams full scouting report as well. I've watched every snap he took in college, stay tuned for that, but today we are talking about the safest player in the draft, the #1 player on my draft board, and the closest thing to a generational talent in this year's draft class. Today I will cover the strengths and weaknesses and why I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a perfect fit for the Chicago Bears. I believe he would elevate this offense to another level. Let's get right into it. Marvin Harrison Jr. had elite production without elite QB play in college and while seeing constant double teams. He had 67 catches for 1,211 yards and 14 touchdowns this season. He had 77 catches for 1,263 yards and 14 touchdowns last season. He stole the show at CJ Stroud's Pro Day last year and is one of the best prospects I've ever studied in my entire life. His game is nearly flawless and he's just dripping with potential. Some fun facts about Marv before we get into his strengths and weaknesses. He has his own jugs machine and has even set up a jugs machine inside a hotel room before. He gets his legendary work ethic from his parents. His mom worked 2 jobs and his dad is a Hall of Fame legend, Marvin Harrison. Let's go ahead and get right into his strengths. He has the prototypical size of a wide receiver you would build in a lab. He's 6'4", 205 pounds with the frame to add even more muscle. He's the absolute definition of a freak athlete. He was #2 on Bruce Feldman's freaks list. He can bench press nearly 400 pounds. He reportedly did over 20 reps of 225 on the bench and can squat 500 pounds. He's extremely strong with freakish power and explosiveness and lightning speed. He has been clocked running at 23.5 miles per hour and is projected to run a sub-4.4 40-yard dash. He has elite speed and is capable of taking the top off of defenses and working underneath. He also has the elite ability to accelerate and decelerate and change speeds to get open. Marv is an elite route runner who uses superb footwork and is a pure technician. He has super soft hands and can catch anything thrown his way. He has an incredible catch radius with long arms and incredible concentration skills with the ball in the air. Elite ability to track the ball. He is very smart with a high football IQ and Hall of Fame bloodlines. Marv brings rare contested catch ability to the table. He understands leverage and how to position himself and fight for balls. He's capable of boxing out defenders and using his frame to his favor. He draws more attention than any other player in the nation, constant double teams, but was still able to produce at an elite level. Marvin Harrison Jr. was one of the best players in the nation despite the extra attention paid to him. He's a high-effort guy and a willing blocker. He's explosive, smart, tough, a freak athlete, a leader, a hard worker. With every tool in the bag, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the real deal. An absolute can't-miss prospect and one of the best I've ever seen on tape. He's not perfect, but he's as close to it as I've ever seen. Let's dig as deep as we can to find some weaknesses. Marv can continue to work on his technique versus press coverage. He could struggle at times at the next level, especially versus more physical DBs. He does have a thinner frame and could be an injury risk, although I believe he can bulk up. He doesn't break enough tackles. While he will make guys miss and break a tackle here and there, it is not a strength to his game. He also had too many drops in 2023. He has to cut down on the concentration drops. On top of that, I think he could give more effort blocking, especially when plays are ran away from him. But to be honest, it's nearly impossible to find holes in Marvin Harrison Jr.'s game. He is simply elite as a prospect coming out of college and the safest player in the 2024 NFL Draft, period. In my opinion, he compares favorably to Larry Fitzgerald coming out of school and is the closest thing we've seen to another Calvin Johnson Jr. in the NFL. He is a special prospect that should immediately be a number one type option in the NFL. The bottom line is Marv is easily the best non-quarterback prospect in this year's draft. He's a slam dunk blue chip prospect who should instantly upgrade any NFL offense. He truly is a generational prospect at the wide receiver position. The number one player on my draft board and my favorite player in the entire draft. This dude is legit no matter how you shake it. And it would be a dream for Marvin to wear a Bears uniform for me. He would make our offense much better no matter who the quarterback was. His talent is undeniable and he should be a star at the NFL level. The term generational is thrown around way too much nowadays, and social media has changed how hype is built around these prospects. This year's wide receiver class is special on its own, even without Marv. Adding him to this group makes it one of the most talented classes of receivers in NFL draft history. I don't say that lightly. This is the year of the wide receiver, and Marvin is the best player in the draft. There is no better time to be a team in need of talent at the receiver position. There are multiple wide receivers that offer different skill sets for different teams, but none quite as talented as the one and only Marvin Harrison Jr. This dude is special. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a touchdown machine who defenses have to game plan for. He's a nightmare for defensive coordinators, and he would fit the Bears perfectly. Everything about his game complements DJ Moore's, and together they would be one of the best 1-2 punches at wide receiver in the entire league. Those two together would elevate our offense to another level and help the Chicago Bears quarterback, whoever it ends up being. He is simply that good and a can't-miss prospect. Thanks to everyone who watches. I watched every snap of film on Marvin Harrison Jr.'s 2023 season. I have a ton more scouting reports on the way. I do not take these lightly though, and I watch at least one full season of tape on a player before putting out a video like this. Please hit that like button for me, share this video with your friends, stay tuned because I have so much more on the way, and until next time, bear down.